Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining our free international webinar in IGP. Every day is a good day. There is something to learn, care, and celebrate. Thank you all again for joining with us in this wonderful afternoon. My lively audience, today I am your host. I am Kamrul from Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored to host this webinar and it's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professional Free Webinar. It's my humble request to you all. You stay with us till and don't forget to take, share, and mention your friends. So let's together and learn together. Before we have completed our 460 webinars successfully, today I will be presenting webinar number 470 and that topic is a classroom teacher's leadership skills. Today we have a speaker from Philippines. His name is Ryan P. Pabingting. He is teacher 3 as Justinco Silva High School Division of Pampanga Region 3, Department of Education, Philippines, School Paper of Advisor of Nexus, and he is also the official English publication of Justinco Sibilla High School. Let's welcome our speaker to the screen. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, give a short description about yourself, then you can start your presentation.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Ryan Picavicting, currently having my PhD in English Language Studies at Bulacan State University, and I am teaching grade 10 students as their English as a second language teacher. Once again, thank you so much for participating and gracing this event, and thank you for learning with me. In this afternoon, we'll be discussing the teaching that enhances leadership skills in the perspective of a classroom teacher, and that is me. Shall we start, sir? Now, for our participants all around the globe, please be reminded that the different perspectives and different scenarios that I may be giving are based on the Philippine setup because I'm affiliated in the Philippine educational system. That is why most of the examples or scenarios that we are discussing about this will be based on the Philippine setup. Shall we start? Let's have this one. For this session, we'll be having three main objectives. First, we have to define the context of leadership based on literature. Second, illustrate four ways that teaching enhances teachers' leadership skills. And the last one, explore and appreciate one's leadership style. We need these materials. First, we must have pen. Second, paper. And the third one is calculator. For calculator, we'll just be using it the moment that we have finished the activity within the session. Please be reminded that there is an activity that may determine your leadership style based on the scenario that will be given later on. And we have to use pen and paper for our answers. Let's start with this one. Let's have the rationale of the session or the information which are taken from literature based on the topic which talk about the leadership. We'll be focusing on the teacher's leadership skills. First, we must identify or we must appreciate that administrators cannot and should not only be the leaders in a school. The pervasive view of the principal as the sole instructional leader in school is inadequate and increasingly difficult given the current demands for accountability and student learning results. That is based on March in 2000, Felicer Anderson in 1995, Smiley Conley in now. Let's have this one. As we all know, we have the principal at school and we consider them as our leaders. But did we consider as teachers, as leaders of a specific school? Please be reminded that teachers are also leaders, specifically when we talk about the demands for accountability, when we talk about the students' learning results. Always remember that teachers are the primary persons who are dealing with the students, in which students are the primary clientele of a certain academic institution. Then principals are the leaders who lead the teachers. That is why once we said leadership skills or leadership style of a certain principal, it will be based on how teachers perceive that style in order for the school achieve the learning goals of a certain department. Next, the absence of a clear concept of teacher leadership limits collective action to effectively change schools and improve student learning. Once we said collective action, that means the decision will not be coming only from the principal per se. We must consider ourselves as part of the decision making because teachers are the primary persons in contact with the students. And to improve the students' learning, the principal will not teach, but guide the teacher on what to teach and how to teach the student to achieve better results in terms of academics. That is based on Greenlee in 2007. Now, let's have this one, the activity within the session. For this one, we'll be having 25 statements or questions in which you have to rate yourself. Rate how true the following statements are as they pertain to you, with 1 being untrue and 10 being true. Once everyone is finished, once everyone is finished, we will read out the color that corresponds with each question or statement. You will enter this in the leadership code column. Once you've tallied the scores for each color, we will read out what each color means in terms of leadership style. It is important to note that we may have more than one leadership style, but in this exercise, you are identifying the strongest leadership tendency. Shall we start? Prepare your pen and paper, later the calculator. Let's have the first statements. Statements 1 to 5, then you have to rate yourself. 1 being untrue and 10 being true. Later on, we will decipher the leadership codes. First statement, I don't need to be in charge of a group, but I enjoy making detailed plans that everyone can carry out. That means, since we are teachers, we are talking about our fellow teachers and even the principal and the students. In this scenario, you have to rate yourself being with your fellow teachers, principal, and student. That's for statement 1. For statement number 2, I am the nurturing type who take cares of everyone. 3, I am the listener. I hear what people are saying and make sure everyone has a voice. Fourth one, I am the logical one. I enjoy working through puzzles and equations. For those math teachers there. Fifth one, I am the peacekeeper who listens to everyone and finds a reasonable compromise. I'll be giving you 10 seconds to rate yourself for those 5 items given. Okay, Let's move on. In order to maximize student learning, teachers must assume the roles of leadership and take on more responsibility for the school-wide change. If we are going to see, or if we are going to discuss more so Katzenmeyer and Moller in 2001, Movigis and Harris in 2003, we are referring to the school-wide change. Take note, we are only teachers, but we are needed to change the school for betterment. And always remember that we have to maximize the learning of our students as teachers. Because in that sense, we maximize ourselves as leaders inside the classroom, not only teachers, because we are teaching the leaders of tomorrow. In a certain quote, I forgot the author, the builders of the future generation. And the other person says, teachers are building the builders of the future generation. Same is true with this one. We have to assume the roles of leadership because we are leaders. Take note, the principles came from being a teacher. That means there is a possibility that from us teachers will emerge the future leaders of certain institutions. That is why we must embrace the leadership skills we have at present. Next one. Trowen and Bowles in 1994 characterized teacher leadership as a collaborative effort. Once again, take note for the word collaborative, in which teachers develop expertise and promote professional development to improve instruction to all students. We know that collaborative effort should be given, should be emphasized in a certain organization, particularly academic institution. If there are no collaborative efforts given by the principal, the stakeholders, teachers, and definitely students, the learning community will not be a successful one because this collaborative effort are the key or is the key for a successful academic institution. Always remember that if the principal decides for this one, support him or her because that decision will always affect students and teachers. And that decision will be guarded by the principles of leadership. Katzenmeyer and Moller in 2001 assert that teachers who are leaders lead within and beyond the classroom. Take note, within. If we are teachers, we all know that one. Within the four corners of the room. But we can also be leaders beyond that classroom. That is why we are going to observe most of the persons speaking with the learning community, particularly to our stakeholders, to our parents and clienteles. Teachers are always in front because teachers communicate with the community together with the principal because the principal alone cannot do that one because a certain community is quite large to be entertained by the principal alone. Next. For this session, we'll be focusing on the four ways on how to improve our teaching leadership skills inside the classroom. And these four ways are discussed in the article released by Teach for America in 2018. So this one. Our experience as a teacher will always give us the opportunity to build a unique set of leadership skills that we can draw upon throughout our career. Once again, highlighted unique set of leadership skills. That means all teachers have this what we call unique set of leadership skills, which is different from the other teachers. So, in a simple way, do not compare yourself to the others. Do not compare yourself if the opportunity is given to you to become a principal. Do not compare yourself to your previous principal because you are unique. We are unique. We have this what we call unique set of leadership skills that we have within. in the future way or in the future, these leadership skills will surface whatever happens because we have to live a certain learning community. As teachers, we are in the driver's seat on the first day, definitely, with the full responsibility of leading a class of 20 to 30 students. Well, that is the setup in a certain country, but in the Philippines, we have more than 40 or 50 students. Teaching is a demanding role. We know that one. Teachers are not only teaching. As an advisor, we have to be a parent, we have to be a friend, we have to be a comrade of a certain parent. And that is in reality, especially in the Philippine setup, we have to be in different roles just to cater the needs of our students, not only academically, but also in terms of spiritual, emotional, or even social, and sometimes physical. The leadership practices we develop and strengthen a classroom teacher will transfer to any endeavor we may choose to take on. Okay. For this one, in a simple classroom, sometimes we tend to be an authoritative one. Sometimes we tend to be as strict as possible just for the students to comply on. Well, it's up to us on how to handle the situation, provided that always remember that we are inside the classroom and we are leaders. We take responsibility of what is happening inside the classroom. If it is against or pro for us, always remember that experience is still a learning one, whether it is bad or good one. Here are the four ways that teaching leadership and leadership go hand in hand. Before we go on, let's have these statements. You have to rate yourself. 6 to 10 statements. Sixth statement. I look at all sides of a situation before arriving at a certain solution. 7. I can be stubborn when I feel passionately about something going on my way. 8. I'm a dreamer who is always thinking of new and exciting ideas. I believe there is no limit to what we can achieve. 9. I like to tackle tasks, problems, and projects with a well thought out plan. 10th, I am friends with just about everyone I met or I meet. 10 seconds. Okay, let's have the first way on how to improve our teaching leadership skills. Teachers start by developing a strong vision for their classroom. In the Philippine setup, we have this what we call set vision, mission, goals, and objectives for the educational system. Now, as teachers, we have to translate this vision to our classroom. Aside from simply discussing this vision to our students, please bear in mind that we are also models to our students. We have to live up the vision, the mission of our school as well. Not only inside the classroom, but also outside. for consistency purposes. Next one. One of the primary aspects of leadership is having a clear vision for where you are going. The vision is already set by the department of a certain country. Now, principals are about to translate this vision to the schools they lead, and teachers are about to translate this vision to the students. Not just only discussing this vision to the students, always remember that the importance of vision to our students should be surfaced not only during the discussion but also outside the classroom setup. Casual talks with the students is one way on how to discuss the vision of the school. It can be done outside the classroom. Just simply have a casual talk with them, then they realize that the importance of vision should be fulfilled, not only by the teachers, but also by them. Next one. Great teachers think big and develop a vision for what must be true in order for the students to realize their gifts. Great teachers, wow, it is very nice to feel that one if you are considered to be a great one. But being a simple teacher can be great as well, provided that you take care of your students in terms of academics and even the social aspect of them. Now, we must think of ways on how to create and develop this vision for them in order for the students to realize their gifts. We have to consider the pros and cons, and we have also to see the students' strengths and weaknesses for them to identify themselves properly. After identifying those students or after identifying the strengths and weaknesses with our students, we must consider ourselves as part of their future in order for us to be a better teacher. And that is the reason why we must consider ourselves as great teachers because we help our students realize their potentials. Next, statements 11 to 15. 11th statement, I am drawn to hands-on tasks. I like making tangible products. 12. I like to take risks and try ideas before knowing if they will work or not. 13th, I like to think of new solutions to old problems. 14th, I am the energetic one who is always ready to roll up my sleeves and get to work. 15th, I am the artistic one and people see me as creative. 10 seconds to finalize your answer. Okay, let's have the second way on how to enhance our leadership skills as teacher inside the classroom. Second, teachers take strategic action to reach their vision every day. Take note, every day. It's not for the first day. It should be every day that we must consider our vision as part of our lesson inside the classroom. And we have to think strategically in order for us to reach that vision. How to do that one? A simple way is to encourage the students to participate in the decision making within the four corners of the classroom. In that sense, we are trying to develop the leadership skills, not only we as teachers, but also our students. A key component of leadership is mapping out the strategy to make that vision come true. Once we said mapping out, simply, we are scheduling. We are giving direction on what to do and how to do a certain task just to come up a certain decision that may affect the students' learning inside the classroom. In the essence of being a teacher, definitely we have to have this plan in order for you to achieve your goals inside the classroom. Always remember that the vision is being embodied by the students and the teachers inside the classroom every day. Well set long-term and short-term goals for what we want our students to achieve and determine how well work with students, parents, and our school team to help our students reach those goals. As we considered ourselves as part of the learning community, always remember that we have to communicate with our parents, with our stakeholders, with our school team in order for us to organize well, to realize that vision set by the Department of Education for our students. Always remember that these long-term and short-term goals are part of our lesson, are part of ourselves whenever we are carrying ourselves in front of the students to discuss the lessons, to discuss the concepts. And we can insert or we can intervene with the lessons through our skills to define such persons. Let's have statements 16 to 20. 16. I don't like trying something unless I'm pretty sure it will work the first time. 17th. I like to get things done quickly. 18th. Sometimes I can see disorganized. 19th. People are quick to trust me. 20. I make most decisions based on facts, data, and numbers. 10 seconds to finalize your answer. Okay, let's move on. The third way. Teachers are adept or proficient at building relationships across lines of difference. In the Philippine setup, well, we have 40 to 50 students. Definitely, these students have this what we call unique attitudes in which they are very different from one another. That is why we have to be proficient on how to deal with this. Not only that, if we are out of the classroom, that means we have to deal with our fellow teachers and we have to deal with the community. That is why it is our ability, must be in our ability to be proficient in building relationships in different or across lines. Well, students have this what we call differences, and there are these students who need special attention or specific needs. That is why we teachers must be very proficient and very patient in dealing with this kind of situation. Definitely. Thank you so much for this one. Short-term goals lead to long-term goals, teacher intervention to achieve the students' empowerment. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that thought. And always remember that our clientele are the students and see to it that our heart is with them in order for them to feel that they are secure in terms of their future as part of their learning as teachers. Strong leaders are masters of relationship building. If we are leaders, that means we have to unite our fellows in one vision set by the department. If we are leader teachers, if we are teacher leaders rather, we have to unite the class for them to realize their goals inside the classroom, for them to realize their potentials, and for them to become better persons and future leaders of our country. That is why we must be strong leaders as teachers. Teaching also offers us the unique opportunity to build relationships with a diverse group of faculty or staff and parents who all bring different backgrounds, experiences, and strengths, and definitely we have to include weaknesses. We know that one. We have to build relationships among them. If they are different, or if they have this what we call viewpoint, which is different to our viewpoint, definitely we have to respect, but do not distance yourself. Always remember that we are great leaders. We are proficient leaders. We build relationships across different lines. For this one, we know that we have different fellow teachers who have different ideas, different religions, different points of views or perspectives on certain issues. Respect and learn from them or learn with them. Then the last set of questions. 21. I am good at coming up with big ideas, but I'm not always good at following through make them happen. 22 or 22nd. Often it takes me a long time to make decisions because I need more information. 23rd. I am good at being in charge of groups and keeping groups focused. 24th. People see me as one who will get the job done no matter what. 25th. Sometimes I have a hard time saying no to people and ended up taking on too much. 5 seconds to finalize your answer. Thank you so much, sir, for being active. Adapt, adopt, and adapt. We need to inspire the students to excel and empower. Always remember that we are leaders. Definitely, we are also models in the eyes of our students and definitely to the parents. Shall we move on to the last one? Teachers continually push themselves to learn and improve. Well, right after passing this, what we call board exam, we have to continue learning from the others. We have to continue learning formally or informally way. Still, it is a learning. As for myself, I want to continue learning in a formal way by means of attending seminars and workshops just like this one, by means of attending my PhD, in which this one will help me understand more on the concepts of my lessons to be taught inside the classroom and more of as a teacher inside the classroom. And definitely, since we are working with the faculty or with the fellow teachers, always remember that we have to push ourselves to learn with them and to improve ourselves. By just simply having these conversations to our fellow professionals, to the experts, I may say, because we are experts as we all know, and definitely we are leaders inside the classroom and outside. So we must continue learning with them. Aside from those, continue reading journals, journal articles rather, which are related to teaching and learning processes in a way that as if we are students, we continue learning because we cannot teach any if we don't know any. That is why we must continue learning with them. We must continue reading books, journals, in order for us to improve ourselves as teachers. If we improve ourselves as teachers, definitely we will become better leaders. Not only better, but great leaders in the future. Who knows, one of us will be the principal or the school director in the future. And that is why we must continue striving and we must continue to improve our skills inside the classroom in order for us to become better leaders or the best leaders that we may be for our students. Learning from mistakes. That's natural because we are humans. We commit mistakes. Seeking feedbacks, and this one is the sometimes it is hard to do. Seeking feedbacks from whom? From our fellows, from our principals, and definitely we have to seek feedbacks from our students because they are our clientele. We are with them in a certain hour each day. That is why they know us. Where to they know us. What's the problem with us? What's the thing that may be a problem for them, but it's not for ours. That is why we have to seek feedbacks, not only from our leaders and fellows, but also from our students. And if you want, in terms of this, what we call social aspect, we have to seek feedbacks from the community, from the parents, or even the stakeholders, just for us to improve ourselves as teachers and leaders and continuing to evolve are among the traits of effective leader. Always remember that we are just humans. We commit mistakes and make sure that after committing that mistake, learn from it. If not, that means we cannot say that we are effective leaders. As teachers, we are constantly learning and evolving. Wow. Learning is one word and evolving is another one. And we know this one. We have to continue to teach new concept. That is why after graduating in a BSE program in 2010, I attended my master's in 2013. And up to present, I am attending my PhD in English Language Studies just to improve myself, just to improve the way I serve my students inside the classroom and to improve the way I deal with my fellow teachers in the academic institution where I belong. Learning what motivates each of our students. Whenever we have spare time right after the discussion, my students always ask me, why do I continue study? Why do I continue enroll my PhD despite the problem I have in terms of scheduling, in terms of the distance where I enroll my PhD? I always tell my students that it is better to learn in a sacrificed way than to learn with no sacrifice at all. In order for me to embrace the learning well, and in order for me to serve my students well, then on they would realize that I study not only for myself, but also for them. Learning how to navigate the structures within our school to get things done. We know this one because this is the primary goal and the primary role of our principals to lead us. The structure of the school, we know that one. And definitely, since we are leaders, we must consider also as followers because principals still are our leaders inside our school. We are also constantly receiving feedbacks on what works and doesn't work. This one I'm telling you. If a certain task is being done by the student, then as feedback most of the students failed. That means there is a problem with the task, and you have to seek feedbacks from them. You have to see their perceptions in the certain task in order for you to improve yourself. That is taking feedbacks from the students, challenging our own perspective on what our students are capable of achieving. We know this one. We develop our students to become leaders. We develop our students to become better persons in our community. And that's the reason why we must see their potentials and then improve them, encourage them to reach their goals, encourage them to show their talents in order for them to become better and confident person in the future. Let's move on with our activity. So here are the codes. For statement one, that is red. For statement number two, that is green. Statement three, green. Four, red. Five, green. Six, red. Seven, yellow. Eight, blue. Nine, red. 10, green. 11, yellow. 12, blue. 13 blue, 14 yellow, 15 blue, 16 red, 17 yellow, 18 blue, 19 green, 20 red, 21 blue, 22 red, 23 yellow, 24 yellow, 25 green. Let's have an example. If your statement number one, you rate yourself as 9, then the code is red. I'll be giving you a minute or less to decipher the codes for each statement. Take your time. And let us see your leadership style inside the classroom or with your fellows. Okay, I think time's up. Time's up as if we are in the contest. Let us see this one. Tally your scores now. Green, yellow, red, blue. And the highest score definitely will serve as your leadership style in our situation in which you are with your students and fellows. Then, okay, let us see. Okay, let us have this. Right after tallying your scores, if you got green as your highest or with the highest points, green leaders bring everyone together. They resolve conflicts amongst team members and ensure that all team members are feeling good. Greens are great at building relationships within groups and creating a positive environment for groups. They are often seen as great people. Congratulations to our green people. Let's have the yellow leaders. Yellow leaders propel the team with action. They lead by example, motivating people and maintaining the team's momentum as they move toward the goal. They keep teams focused and can be persuasive in getting their way. They are often seen as reliable person or people who follow through and get things done. Let's have the red leaders. Red leaders use their logical based skills to make sure that groups are being realistic and achievement focused. They analyze the team's goals and actions and decide the best possible way to achieve the goals. Given specific condition or circumstance, Reds do a lot of calculating, analyzing, systematizing, organizing, and budgeting. They are great at providing solutions that make the most logical sense. I like red. I love red. Blue leaders. Blue leaders dream and inspire. They are the idea makers. They approach problem in new ways and tackle tasks differently than the others. Blues are always thinking, brainstorming, suggesting, and looking ahead at where the team can go. They are often seen as big picture thinkers. Now, realize to yourself about your leadership skills inside your classroom. Thank you so much for being with me. Here are the references for further readings for the activity and the others. Take note for this one. Leadership is not a position or a title. It is an action, an example. That is why we have to be role models to our fellow teachers, to our principal, and to our definitely students. Thanks again. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your experience with our participants and giving us your valuable time with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to learn with you.
Thank you, sir. We will come back together with our question and answer session again. Thank you.
Okay.
Dear participants, let's we proceed to our quiz competition. After a short video clips, we come back together again. Let's enjoy the video. Welcome back again. 11 participants already joined with us. For joining quiz competition, you have to go to slido.com and the code is IGP quiz. The link also given in our comment box. For participating quiz, you have to go to slido.com and the code is IGP quiz. After quiz competition, we move to our most awaited session, question and answer. Let's start the quiz. Our first question is teacher leadership only refers to the teacher's abilities in the classroom. Is it true or false? 89% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is false. On the leaderboard, Ana Maria Joy Mercado leading the first position. Next, move to our second question. Along with academic skill, a responsive classroom teachers also emphasizes what? It is social skills or little parental control. 90% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is social skills. On the leaderboard again, Ana Maria Joy Mercado leading the first position. Our next question is teachers unions negotiate salary and length of workday or benefits. 90% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is benefits. On the leaderboard now, Danish Guinto Sarso leading the first position. Our next question is classroom dialogue, communication, and relationship are most influenced by the teacher's use and management of space or activities. 'Only 9% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is space. On the leaderboard, Michelle leading the first position. Our next question is teachers' leadership roles provide teachers with new ways to expand their skills and abilities. Is it true or false? 95% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is true. On the leaderboard again, Michelle leading the first position. Our next question is which organization serves as a teachers union? American Federation of Teachers or National Educators Association? Only 17% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is American Federations of Teachers. On the leaderboard now, Cristiano Di Candido leading the first position. Our next question is which component is not part of five components of Ohio Teachers Leadership Framework? Data informed practice or driving initiatives? 35% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is data informed practice. on the leaderboard. Now Evelyn Wayfairy leading the first position. Our next question is interpersonal skills, communication that's happen within a person's own mind or data and from practice. 100% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is communication that's happen within a person's own mind. On the leaderboard again, Evelyn leading the first position. Our second last question is definition of leadership, intentional influence or communication that's happen within a person's own mind. - 95% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is intentional influence. Our last and final question is for teachers matters, you need to check the classroom rules, teaching technique, and classroom environment or professionalism. Only 10% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is professionalism. Congratulations of our top 10 quiz competitor. Name Evelyn Wayfairy leading the first position, and Lizel the second position. Danish Guinto Sarso is the third position. Congratulations everyone for participating our quiz competition. Let's we proceed to our question and answer session. After a short video clips, we come back together with our speakers. Welcome back, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you, sir, for waiting in the backstage. Dear participants, it's our question and answer session time. You can send your question in our comment box and make sure to put it one by one so that our speaker could understand it well. So participants are requested to ask their question in our comment box. Don't hesitate to ask the question. Our speaker now ready to answer the question. Sir, we are waiting for our question. Dear participants, if you have any question, you can freely ask the question to our speakers. Sir, our first question from Ma'am Evelyn. Good afternoon, sir. What types of leader is effective on the near normal? And thank you.
If we are going to see it, once we said effective leader, each type of leaders, if each type of leader is effective based on the context, but the context now is the new normal. For me, the leader should be adaptive. The leader should encourage people to adapt the situation. So they are considered to be adaptive leaders. In our discussion, we may say that these leaders are the red leaders. They have to analyze the situation first. They have to gather data first before having a certain decision. So the red ones, ma'am Evelyn. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you, sir. Our next question from Ma'am Christina. Sarayan, which one is the best leader for you out of the four you have mentioned?
As a person, as a teacher, and as a future leader, maybe I hope so. I consider them all. They are best leaders because leadership style comes out in a certain or specific situation. That means there are these specific situations in which this kind of leadership surfaces to a certain person. And always remember that we do not embody one type of leadership only. We may have different leaderships. But if you are referring which one is the best leader for you out of the four you have mentioned, for me still red because they have to analyze first the situation before coming out a certain decision. Thank you so much, Ma'am Christina.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is, how can a teacher gives more impact when it's come to leadership towards his or her students or colleagues?
The main purpose of being a leader is to teach within the classroom. Always remember that one as part of our uh, profession. I think it is more on the students because we communicate more with our students. We give ourselves more with our students because we are considering ourselves as leaders inside the classroom. For me, students. Thank you so much, Ma'am Ida Ramirez Martinez.
Thank you, sir. Our next question from Kispiano. Sir, what is the most important leadership trait that an educator must possess?
Oh my God, sir. So this one is quite, uh, I may say that there are these traits that can be seen or can be observed from a certain person. What's the most important leadership trait that an educator must possess? Definitely, since we are educators, we must have this what we call wisdom, a wisdom that gives direction to our students and fellow teachers. Definitely, a wisdom that cares for the feelings of our students and fellow workers. So wisdom. is the most important leadership trait that a certain leader must possess to entertain the problems or situations that certain institution faces at the moment? Thank you, sir, for that question.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, we are still waiting for our next question. Thank you very much,
Thank you
sir.
so
I hope
thank you
we
so
will
much
move to
po.
question. Thank you, sir, for participating in our session and also giving us your valuable time. I hope our participants also benefited from you as you share your intelligent knowledge with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po.
Dear participants, today our webinar name is A Classroom Teacher's Leadership Skills and the code is IGP 9876. IGP 9876. You can without code no one is eligible for certificate. With code you can claim your certificate anytime. For download your certificate, you have to go to eduigp.com and the code is IGP 9876. Thank you all for joining us today. We hope we will meet together in our evening session. Thank you.